What's the deal, YouTube? It's your girl, Miss Honey. Welcome back to the channel, you guys. It is your girl, Miss Honey, here to do a power review. This is Power Season 6, Episode 3, Forgot About Dre. Oh, it's clever. It's very, very clever. So let's just talk about this episode really, really quick. First of all, Tariq. Tariq is running out of supplies. He's at Choate. I mean, he's all blinged out. He's got fancy watches on. He's got all the latest games and everything. But what he doesn't have is an endless supply. The bag of pills that he got from Kanan when they went out there and killed the doctor, it's running low. He's got to run back into the city to see just how much more he has. At the moment, he feels like, oh, no problem, I'll just re-up. But after he goes back into the city, he stays with his mom for a little while. That's a mess. She forces him to go and stay with James, his dad, which he's cool with because that's where he's got his stash. So goes look at the stash in the closet and sees he's only got really 1 or 2 bags, right, of these pills. Comes out of the closet, closes the door, and sees a picture of Raina. And he just has a moment where, he's just remembering how it used to be. Then we see where he gets back to the school, and although he has taken on another staff member in Afro Puff Girl, clearly he does not have the product to provide to the staff in order to go out and sell. And I'm like, okay, Tariq, so you did not know when you was bringing on new staff members that you didn't even have a supply? I see you talk a good Kanan, but clearly you don't have all of the skill set to get this job done effectively. Now later on, he's chilling with his Caucasian roommate, and he's brought 2 girls there, and they all just chilling there together. When Afro Puff come to the door, she was like, oh, you busy, I'll come back. No, he put everybody out. See, because Afro Puff been letting him know that she think he a cutie pie, a pretty Ricky. And turns out they've got this intellectual game of chess going. And during this game of chess, they talk about their own personal lives, their own personal emotions. Turns out she's had a brother that was killed, and I think it was in some type of combat. I couldn't really catch what she was saying that he was killed in, and then Tariq, and then that her mom, ever since her and her dad, the mom and the dad divorced, the mom's like sober like 2 hours in the morning, and then that's it. So she's got a story, right? It's a hard knock life for us. It's a hard knock life for us. Steady kisses, we get kicks. Okay, so Tariq tells his story about Raina and her being a twin, and how they did everything together. They were always together. They were born together, and now that she is gone, he just feels so all alone. And Afro Puff just lets him know, you're not alone. You're not by yourself. You know what I'm saying? I'm here with you, Reed. Oh, okay. All right. So let's move forward. Who else can we talk about? Let's talk about Dre real quick. And we're going to roll Stacks in on it. Now, Dre is in a safe house. And Donovan is one of 5 men, okay, dressed like regular, ordinary, everyday suburban dads who are going to move Dre and his crying daughter to a safer space, or to the courthouse where he can testify. Okay, so The baby's acting fussy. He goes and talks to Dre. Dre, do you even want to do this? Like, I mean, do you even want to take the baby along? Like, you don't know all the ins and outs of taking care of baby. The baby been crying for like 4 hours. He takes the baby. Baby gives a little burp, stops crying. Are you sure you want to do this? Now he goes on out in the living room with the baby. Now get the baby stuff together and come on, let's go. He goes out back into the living room just in time to see somebody blow the door handle off the front door. I was like, okay, so it's just the five of y'all? Like just the five of y'all? Okay. So we know Donovan is an agent. He carries a gun. These other men, they must be agents. I'm sure they carry guns. It's a full-on shootout. Meanwhile, Dre is separated from his daughter, Heaven, because Donovan got her. He got her safe. He got her down low, but still at the same time, it's a lot of bullets flying. And people are getting killed left and right. The good guys and the bad guys. Kill, kill, shot, shot, dead, dead, dead. This episode really kind of reminded me of season 1 and season 2 when I really got hooked on Power, because it is bloody, like no holds bar, like we out here. So Donovan gets some shots off and is able to get back on the other side of the wall and gives Dre Heaven, the little baby, and he's trying to move them through the house safely. There's one guy in there that's killing everybody in there that's not dead. Obviously, he's the, he's the one that's come in after all the front men have gotten killed, and he's gonna finish it off. And Donovan tricks the guy, gets the guy in position, shoots the guy, and the guy's down dead. Okay, but Donovan's been hit. And he tells Dre to go in the bathroom, get in the bathtub in 2 minutes, backup will be here. 2 minutes, but that's fine. Dre goes out the other bathroom door. The bathroom got 2 doors. He goes in one door and out the other door and gets the guy that he just shot's gun, brings it up. And he had already asked Donovan for a gun, and Donovan said, no, you're not getting no gun now. This is we as professionals. Don't let the fact that we all dress like soccer dads fool you. We are professionals, okay? It's just 5 of us. This is a federal case, but you still safe, sir. Dre ain't hearing it. You know what? I didn't ask you to protect me. I didn't ask you to protect my daughter. He's like, come on, man, don't do this. Because he got the gun raised. He said, you one of them good guys that think you better than what you are. Shoots the guy. Okay? Now, the time that he shoot the guy, his daughter, Heaven, takes her jacket off and looks right at him. Looks right at Donovan as he opens Donovan's head up. Okay? And gets splatter and wipes her face. I was just like, you a real piece of work, Dre. You a real piece of work. You the kind of person that I want to die slowly. You know what I'm saying? I want you to get about 5 or 6, 7 or 8 shots to the chest, and then you stumble down the steps and, like old Al Pacino death, and get to the foot of the steps and sit down and light a cigarette and pull in the smoke, and all the smoke come out the holes in your chest, and then you just die. I mean, this is what I want for Dre, okay? Because you have now put your daughter in this position where she is going to remember this for the rest of her life. Some form of this graphic violence for the rest of her life. He walking through like the train station or something thinking he just gonna get on the train. Now his daughter got all pink on pink. I mean, they just got a full description of who they are. It don't take no time for them to walk up on him. Now, my thing is that the police that was looking for him, they looked like they was 10, 15 deep. Deep. You know what I'm saying? They had their helmets on and night vision goggles and x-ray. I don't know. I mean, but you got 5 soccer dads protecting Dre at the safe house. Okay. All right. No problemo. Well, Dre gets nabbed up, taken in. He sees Stacks, and Stacks says, when he sees Stacks, he's worried. Now, Dre does a good job. Rotimi does a good job of looking like the most worried Negro in America. Every time you see him, he looks afraid. He looks, like he is 2 seconds away from bolting and running. So he thinks that they're going to ask him about the Donovan situation, but they want to know what happened, period. Okay, and remember now, Stacks is the only one leading this investigation. He's the only one in charge. We don't have any other people investigating this situation. So we see where Dre is relieved. Dre is like, oh, okay, so you don't know no more than nobody else around here. That's fine. You were supposed to be protecting me. That's what happened. Oh, no, you're going to help me figure this out? Okay, no, because why would I testify now against y'all, Alicia Jiminez, because y'all couldn't even protect me in the safe house? I was like, a valid point. But Stacks don't care. This is what you gonna do. You gonna be there tomorrow. Now the court case has been extended. You've been given the circumstances. You've been given a few days, but you testifying. You testifying. You holding up your end of the bargain. What do you mean? I can't be in Witsec. If I'm up in Nebraska somewhere, I'm gonna stick out like a sore thumb. You know, like, it's not gonna work for me. This is not gonna work for me. I don't want to do all of this. And Stacks lets him know, you ain't really got no choice. Okay, we also see where Stacks, who is slick as duck grease, is checking the Proctor bug. Now he there with the ex-wife Junkie, and she's acting all scared. I'm scared. What is we gonna do? We could get in trouble. This is illegal. I'm a lawyer now. Yeah, all of this is the reason why you are actively working as a lawyer, because you agreed to put the bug on your daughter's book bag to implicate your ex-husband and all his cohorts. So just calm down, girl. Just calm down. You have already signed on the dotted line. This is what it is. All right? Take it down a notch. Anyway, when he learns about Donovan, he's like, oh, that's unfortunate. Goes on about his business. Nobody really blinks at the fact that Donovan is dead as heck. Okay, then we see where he goes in and he interrogates Alicia Jiminez, and Alicia is just feeling really confident. She's giving us what's the guy that we all just adored? He was crazy and funny and psychotic and murderous from he was the last one they had in custody. That was a big mess. But she's giving us a little of that tease, you know. And she wants to go home. Let me go home. The country has said that she going back home too. Said they're going to give her some jail time. So it's not like she'll get off scot-free. Just let her go home and we'll all move on. Also, let me get it straight. We've got 2 federal agents dead and you just want to slap on the wrist? And she's just like, well, I could be here and worried, or I could be home and not worried. But I'm telling you right now, if I'm here and worried, Dre got a reason to be worried too. I was like, oh, that sounds like a threat. So he turns her offer down, of course. Ain't nobody trying to do all that. Okay, so then we see where he talks with Blanca and tells Blanca he runs it down for her. You know, if Dre testify, we really won't have a leg to stand on where it comes to ghosts, because technically what Dre has to tell us really clears ghosts. She was like, well, I don't know how can we do it then, because you know, if you don't have the evidence. Oh no, he did it. James St. Patrick did it. He killed Angela and I'm gonna prove it. If I got to fake the proof, if I got to lie, if I got to, you know, manipulate evidence, it's gonna prove in my favor that James St. Patrick is, in fact, who I think it is. And I don't want to look at any other options. So Blanca's like, yeah, it's okay. So we'll have to get Dre to testify for sure, and then we'll have to find some other reason to way to nail James St. Patrick. I was like, oh, okay. So don't let evidence stop you. Don't do that. All right. Later on, when everything is said and done, he brings Dre in and he talks to Dre, and he tells Dre that he wants him to help him get James St. Patrick. He don't care what else is going on. And without that, you don't get your daughter. You don't get to see your daughter. You don't get to be with your daughter. Now, I find it really, really funny that they can use his daughter Heaven as a way to manipulate and control him, but he was so careless with Tariq. Like, does he care about children at all? Just his children, just his child. Okay, all right. I mean, Dre has turned out to be really, 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 really cold-hearted. Anyway, Dre tells him, this is, you're backstabbing. This isn't right. This isn't fair. And he says, no, you're going to give me James St. Patrick. He says, oh, I saw him at the courthouse today. And Stacks was like, no, you didn't. You're paranoid. Keep it coming. Yeah, keep thinking. This ain't it, but keep thinking as to how you can help me, or you can give up seeing your daughter forever. Okay, Dre is very, very upset. Now let's talk about Tate. Okay, so Tate is getting it in with his campaign manager's wife. I'm talking about getting it in. He gets a call from the DNC office. Evidently, they're going to put a lot of their financial support and professional support behind his campaign. They really, really want him to win. So when he's back at headquarters, we see the campaign husband, and he's licking his wounds because y'all know that Councilman Tate gave him one to the 3 to the body and 1 to the head, and he's sporting a black eye, and he's licking his wounds, and he's talking under his breath real nasty to his wife about Tate. Now she clearly is taking up for Tate. Now he apologized for that. He let it go. What you did, you have to let it go too. And the guy was like, he's and she was like, I think he said that oh, I've got to, could you let the dog out or something? I've got to babysit this idiot for the rest of the day. And she tells him, she says, when he said something bad about Tate under his breath, she said, this campaign is bigger than you, honey. You've got to let it go. Okay, this is bigger, way bigger than you. And now this is a play on words because, yeah, she's talking about the campaign, but she's also talking about Mr. Sprinkles, okay? The one-eyed Wonder Weenie that she's been taking, okay, quite happily all morning long when she was supposed to be at yoga. I was like, okay. We get to see Ramona Garrity. Ramona Garrity comes into the office, and she is calling out names and passing out pink slips. She lets like 8 to 10 people go, okay? And Councilman Tate is panicked. We know we needed money. We need funds. We need the money and funds to pay these people in order to run this campaign. And she was like, no. What you got is a situation on your hand. The DNC is not finna let give y'all money and bring in resources in here and you squandering it, or you are hooking up with ne'er-do-wells. I'm here to regulate. I'm here to re-energize the campaign, and that includes checking out James St. Patrick. Because we've heard some scurrilous things about James St. Patrick. And Councilman Tate is like, ah, dog. Later on, we see where James comes to the office because he is upset. He's gone by the QBC project, and they haven't even broken ground yet. Like, I don't see no bulldozers running or nothing. I was like, James, really? Really? Shouldn't you be somewhere trying to get some money clean? Because you owe everybody. Like, everybody. And that's when he sees Ramona Garrity. And he's eyeballing her. And, of course, his computer is working overtime. He's locking it in and taking notes and you know how it goes through. Councilman Tate closes the blinds, looking out into the office, and he was like, you can't be seen here. These people trying to give me money. They ain't gonna give me the money if they know that you hanging around on a regular basis. Like, everybody thinks that you ain't ish, okay? And I can't have ain't ish around my campaign. Okay, so James go to leave. He said, not the front door, go out the back door. I was like, boy, y'all stay in these power moves. Y'all stay in these power moves. Later on, we see where Ramona go down and see James, okay? And, you know, they trying to have a little cat and mouse conversation. You know, James does a good job of looking like an upstanding businessman. He's got his suit, his tie, his cuff link. You know, that suit be right up under that beard, right up under here. I mean, he be buttoned up. He's a good looking man and she's a good looking woman. Let me tell you who she looked like to me. She looked like Anne Marie Johnson. Y'all know Anne Marie Johnson. She played Tibbs' wife on In the Heat of the Night. She also played it I'm Gonna Get You Sucker. It's hooker number 5. You know, the one that kept taking off body parts and then she took off her leg and all of that stuff before they could go to bed. Like, she's a really, really good actress. Now, she does not look exactly like her, but the shape of her body, her face, the way her hair is, the length of it, her skin tone, and her acting reminds me a lot of Anne Marie Johnson. Y'all tell me down below if y'all remember Anne Marie Johnson. Well, she goes from kind of questioning Ghost about what he got going on and what's going on with him. Now, she got her own scandalous background because her husband it was out here, ex-husband, she calling him, I think, doing some illicit drugs and prostitution ring and all kinds of old scurrilous stuff. You know, so she really can't talk. But since it wasn't her specifically, she still feels a tad bit high and mighty. So Ghost does what he does. He charms her. He woos her in. He makes her a drink. And she says, well, I'm basically just trying to get to know all the people that call themselves being affiliated with Councilman Tate. And Ghost is like, oh, well, that makes 2 of us. I was like, okay, so these 2 gonna end up bumping uglies before you know it. Then we see where Ramona has Councilman Tate and all his people sitting around. And this is after she has met with James, okay? And the meeting is going and Councilman Tate is pontificating and trying to seem like he's in charge and in control of everything. And it's not even the slightest bit worried about this whole campaign going off the rails on him. And people find out about all of his scurrilous things that he's been doing. And he is just going on and in walks James. And Ramona is like, oh, James, welcome, James. I was like, oh, okay, so you done had a glass of scotch and some warm conversation with James, and now y'all fast friends. He's giving you a smooth conversation, and now, of course, he is cleared to come into the inner sanctum. Oh, okay, all right. So he comes in and says, well, Councilman Tate is going to do this territory, and this territory. And we like you and your wife, Tasha, to do this territory and this territory and this territory. And he says, well, I'll do that, but I have to do it by myself. This James now. He said, because me and Tasha, unfortunately, it's a very difficult time. We're going through a divorce. So everybody's like, oh, they sit down and finish talking. Well, she looking at the corner of her eye like, oh, so he's single then, huh? Yeah, she looked quite pleased that he's getting a divorce. Okay. Then we see where Councilman Tate and Ramona invite Tasha over to dinner. Now, Tasha has been frayed at the edges. Okay, but she's still Tasha. She's still smart as a whip. And so when they invite her to dinner and she comes in, she ain't shaking no hands and she ain't making no friends. She knew Ramona right off. She was like, where do I know you from? I know you from somewhere, probably the TV, I'm sure. But anyway, she tells her, listen, we need you and your husband to just be together a little bit longer so that we can use your face to help Councilman Tate gain the governorship. And she was like, I ain't doing jack. I'm not doing jack, especially for you, Tate. Now, Tasha, what do you mean? Don't even try. Don't think I don't know. I have forgotten about how you tried to exploit. You exploited my daughter's funeral. You exploited my daughter's homegoing service, and I'll never forgive you for that. Well, Ramona jumps in because she realizes that Tate, okay, although he looks good and smells good, He ain't no good. And it's a lot of people that know. It's a lot of people that ain't down for it. Now, she's a fixer, okay? She comes in and runs these campaigns and props these people up and gets them in the office. It doesn't matter how raggedy they are, all right? This is what her job is. So she sympathizes with Tasha because Tasha said first thing when she sat down, your man can't keep his dick in his pants either, right? So, okay, good. I see you bitter. I'm gonna use that and use that as a way to seem as though that I am empathizing. I'm on your side. I sympathize with what you're going through, sister. You know. And Tasha's like, whatever. Tell you what. Councilman Tate said, what can I do? Is there anything I can do? She said, I can tell you what you can do. You can do this, that, and the other. Okay, she wants paperwork. She wants a storefront. She wants all the permits for the workers and everything for the store and all that, because Tasha ain't got no money. What she got is very, 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 very minimal. And she basically needs to get back on her feet financially. And the only way to do that is to help Tommy clean this money so that she can get a cut of it. Okay, and she wants Councilman Tate to help her do it. Now, she's opening a daycare to clean the money, but at the same time, she don't want to wait months. She want it done lickety split. Get me all my permits. Get me all my clearances. Get me all my evaluations. Get everything done and toot sweet, and I'll help you out. Okay, that wasn't bad. Y'all really was able to get that done. Okay, so now let's talk a little bit about Jason. Jason is running the girls. Jason is in charge of the girls. He is pitting Ghost against Tommy, but kind of inadvertently. He has a task which he wants Alicia Jiminez to be broken out of the courthouse toot sweet. He don't want her killed. He want her brought back to him. He tells Tommy he wants him to get it done ASAP. It's impossible. It can't be done. Same thing that James says. It's impossible. It can't be done. I just know it's too risky. It's a federal courthouse. How can this be done? Just make it happen. Bring her back here. He sets them both off on their plan. Now, he's been doing this for this entire season. Okay? He's making money hand over fist because they're both paying him extra for one thing or another. And he's using them to boot in lieu of payments. In lieu of payments, he's using them to do his bidding, his dirty work. So both guys set off on the task to get the task done. Y'all know James, he is unmatched when it comes to slipping in somewhere and slipping right out, which is why everybody calls him Ghost. But we're going to talk about it. First things first, let's talk about Tasha. Tasha comes to her mama's house. She's smelling like weed because she been sitting in the car with Tommy talking over her woes and him talking over his woes. They the only two that still have a relationship from season 1, season 2. Okay, Keisha and Tasha out, Ghost and James out, but James and Tommy is out, but Tommy and Tasha gonna remain fast, cool friends. All right, so we see where she's sitting in the car and she's commiserating with Tommy, and he's commiserating with her and going over what he needs to do, and she going over all that the fact that she is in a financial deficit. She's like, basically, I got to get a job. And he was like, man, I got so much money, I wish we could launder it. Well, they want to use Keisha's business again. And Tasha know that Keisha is not trying to work with her again. She don't want her nowhere near Tommy. Nowhere near Tommy. Even though they made buku bank off of that, for whatever reason, she does not want Tasha. She don't trust Tasha around Tommy, which to me is the weirdest thing. Like, let's all get in this and get out of this. You know what I'm saying? Let's knock it out and get it done. She go to her mama's house to pick up Yaz, and she smell like weed. Well, she also is scheming because she sees that her mom is keeping some other children, and the ladies in the neighborhood are paying her a good hefty price for watching their children. So later on, she goes and she hits her mom up with the idea. Wouldn't it be fun if we opened a storefront and got all our permits and took on more kids? We could make a lot of money, like a lot of good money, and I could run it. And you know, her mama was like, you know what would be fun? Retirement. And if you hadn't messed it up with our drug dealer husband, we could have a nice retirement. Okay, and Tasha realizes she on her own. She can use her mama as the face of it. Her mama can come in and out part-time, but she realizes very, very quickly that her mama is not going to be any help in this game. She also tries to have dinner with Yaz and Tariq, and they sit there, her and Tariq, and just talk about the most adult conversation about the daddy, about not having no money, and him and she don't have no money. Where I'm gonna sleep? You can sleep in Yasmin's room. Yasmin's room is too small for me. Where you can sleep on the blowout couch. Where the blowout couch goes flat. Where you can sleep on the sofa. I'm not sleeping on no sofa. Really, really, Tariq, really. Now, when you was hanging out over there with Jukebox and Kanan and all that in that scuzzy dark apartment with them musty feet men, you didn't think nothing of that. But sleeping on your mama's sofa in a safe place, out of the elements, is just beyond you. Okay, whatever. Anyway, Ghost come over. He want to know why Tariq out of school. And how much you pay for this place, Tasha? I need to know where you keeping my kids. And she was like, you know what? You take your son to your house, to your penthouse, and both of y'all get out. I'm over it. I'm done. I'm not dealing with y'all. Okay? Then we see where, you know, Tasha, after she runs her idea about her mom, you know, about the daycare over to her mom, after that is when she goes over and she meets with Tate, and that's where she implements her plan. Now, Tasha is a smart girl. In exchange, she don't ask for money, but that's temporary. In exchange, she wants a private source of income, a personal source of income. She don't want nothing that's tied to James St. Patrick in any kind of way. This has to be hers and hers alone. Okay, it's a good idea. I like it. I like it a lot. Now, let's see, who else have we talked about? Okay, so let's talk about Tommy and James. First of all, Tommy brings Keisha over to the honeycomb hideout, and he got all his boys there. He shows her the pills, tells her how much he paid for the pills, tells her how much he charges for the pills when they go out. Nice hefty profit on the pills. He shows her his inventory, goes and talks to the guys. They got a room full of money, but what the heck is he gonna do? He's got money, but before he can get his money over to Jason and make a payment over to Jason, he got to get this money clean. How is we gonna get this money clean? Later on, he goes and asks Keisha if she will allow him to run the money, him and Tasha to run the money through her salon again. And she tells him no, absolutely not. I don't want you with Tasha. I tell you what, you can run the money through my shop, but I'll do it. It'll just be me and you. I'll do it all by myself. I've been shown how I can do it. And he's like, okay, cool. Well, when he gets the call from Jason to come in, and he finds out that Jason wants him to go and kidnap Alicia Jiminez out of the federal courthouse on the day of court, he talks to his boys, and he is going to get all of his boys are going to run point. All right. Now, he's already gone over and threatened Proctor. Oh my gosh. Let's talk about this. So James called Proctor to his office to talk to him about it. Okay, that's separate. Now, but Proctor's at home playing a game with his daughter, book bag right there with the little unicorn bug on it. Okay, Tommy comes in. I got something you got to do for me. Okay, sends the little girl upstairs, but she don't take the book bag. And before Tommy can get into what it is he want Proctor to do, which is to tell him what courtroom Alicia Jiminez is going to be in, and to hook him up with his inside man, Proctor's inside man, Charlie, who works at the courthouse and helps them out from time to time. I also need you to give me his number as well. Before he could get into that conversation, the little girl comes down, gets the book bag with the unicorn bug on it, and takes it upstairs. Okay? All right, no problem. So he puts together a brilliant plan. We don't know exactly what the plan is, but he puts together a brilliant plan. The only thing is he needs a woman on the inside. He needs to know when Alicia goes to the bathroom. Now, everybody else is busy. Everybody else has got a point to run. Everybody else, no one else can do it. In walks Keisha. And she's like, hey, y'all, what's going on? Keisha's the one. Keisha's going to be the one. Now, we don't know if Keisha's going to be able to pull it off, but okay. Let's just see what it is. So, of course, Keisha is happy to help. And she's happy to help Tommy launder money. Then we see James. Now, James is getting squeezed tighter by Jason. No, it's just, always repay your debt. It's never going to end. He will always be paying out the nose to Jason. And he knows this. He knows that if he don't kill Jason, get rid of Jason, that Jason gonna continue to bleed him dry and pull him back into the life. So we see where the next morning, after Tariq has spent the night, basically he barely acknowledges Tariq. And when I say acknowledges, I mean he's not really paying attention at all. And the conversation that he has with Tariq is proof of it. He wants to know why Tariq is home. Why are you home? Why are you, well, my friend was having trouble with his girlfriend. He wanted me to come and see him. You can't let anything distract you from your schoolwork, son. I'm like, your son's basically a criminal. Like, the last 2 to 6 months has been criminal activity on one level or another. And you think it's just going to drop him back into the school system? Like, come on, James. You're not this dumb. You're not this naive. And he tells him he wants to tell him something. I know I told you Tommy is dead, but Tommy's not dead. And Tariq tried to fake like he did not know, but James could see that he knew. And he was like, how long did you know, Tariq? You still hanging out with Tommy? Man, how can you still hang out with Tommy? I told you I don't want you hanging out with Tommy. I told you Tommy's in a bad place right now. And how can I trust you, Tariq? Something happens to me, it all belongs to you, but there'll be nothing left if you continue to betray me. I need to know that I can trust you. Oh, Dad, you can trust me, Dad. You can trust me. You can. Now, I know I done did a lot of shady things. I know that I have been the height of, the epitome of of distrustful. Raina, robbing people's homes, hanging out with Kanan, getting Kanan killed. Like, I know. And on top of that, I've been coming out my neck sideways at you and calling you out your name and bucking up at you left and right. Of course you can trust me, Dad. Gives him a little patsy hug, but James is so preoccupied with what he got to do for Jason, which is kidnap Alicia Jiminez, that he don't weigh nothing Tariq say in the back. He don't weigh nothing out. This is what I want to hear. You seem okay, I'm out. All right, it's ridiculous. Then, like I said, he hits Proctor up. Now, he didn't have to worry about the bug on Proctor because Proctor came to his office. And he told Proctor, I need you to do this. And where Tommy uses threat, he is so intimidating to Proctor. James uses guilt and threats. He tells him, if I go down, it's your fault. How can it be my fault? It's gonna be your fault, Joe. And I need you to get me this information. You don't get this information for me, don't come back. And Proctor's like, you know what? I'm between rock and hard place all the time. Like, He's so frustrated. Again, we get this, like I said, when he talks to Ramona, he charms her. He charms her. He is very, very quick to get her on his side, to get her to let her guard down and let him in. He is trying to represent himself as upstanding. Okay, so we see later on where the kidnapping is about to go down. Everybody is in place. Tommy has got a team of 5 or 6 people, probably 5 or 6 people, including Keisha, that he's got running. We don't even know how they're gonna do it. We know that James is already inside. He's at the courtroom. He's pretending to be an elevator, a repairman. Nobody notices the black man with the well-coiffed beard and the fine body build appearing to repair the elevator. At the same time, they bring Alicia Jiminez in. She walks right past Ghost in the elevator lobby and goes on into the courtroom. They accidentally bring Dre in, and he is still doing his scared rabbit routine. Like, Alicia gives him a little bit of a wave, okay? Gets him out of there, out of the corner of his eye. He is sure that he sees Ghost. He is sure that he sees Ghost. And this is what he told Stacks. I saw Ghost at the courthouse. He was at the courthouse earlier today. And Stacks was like, nah. You're paranoid, kid. You're paranoid, son. Okay? And it's just a big mess. Like, they're not handling this properly at all. There's not a whole lot of FBI federal presence. I mean, everybody there, I guess, is working and going to court or whatever, but so the man on the inside puts out cups of water for everybody. When she drinks her cup of water, she starts choking, wheezing, choking. They take her out, take her to the bathroom. They go to the bathroom, they check the bathroom and make sure wasn't nobody in the bathroom. One of the stalls is out of order. Now, they let her go into the bathroom by herself. Now, she can barely walk. They holding her up to get her out, doing all this coughing spell, but you can go in the bathroom to upchuck by yourself. Okay. Mind you, now Keisha is in the stall. She almost lost her nerve on the steps. She almost turned around and went right back, but she was like, no. How you gonna keep a man unless you give up your entire soul to do so? And she goes back inside, and all she does is when she hears Alicia come in the bathroom and she's upchucking and she's sick, she lets them know that she's in there now, and she walks out cool smooth where Ghost sees her. Okay, he's just standing there watching everybody that he know go by. Tommy and his crew come in. Now, Tommy is the driver of an ambulance, and he have his other 2 crew members come in with a gurney, a stretcher. Now, I would be like, who called the police or who called the ambulance? Like, no, nobody's checking, nobody's verifying anything. They put her on the stretcher, roll her out. Meanwhile, Ghost realizes it's so much going on, I'm not going to be able to do what I need to do. I'm about to be out before I get implicated here. So he loads up his elevator repair van and gets ready to pull out when he sees them putting her on the stretcher in the parking deck. And Tommy turns around, their eyes meet, and they realize, oh, we both here on the same job. Tommy tips his hats and pulls on out. Well, of course, Ghost is gonna follow maybe, but also they got a police entourage. 2 big old black SUVs is gonna follow, except Grimace, the guy who worked for Tommy, the big black guy that worked for Tommy, he backs a bail bond truck out and blocks the 2 black SUVs. And Ghost realizes it's a wrap, it's done, like Tommy won. They get Alicia Jiminez back to to Jason, and Jason wants to know who's your grower, who's your pedicurist, who's your manicurist. I want to know all of these things, and Alicia is just like dazed and confused because she is being drugged like a roofie type drug, but she's got enough sense to ask for a cigarette. And she realizes what he has told her is, you're gonna give me all this information, and if you don't, If you give me this information, I'm going to make sure that you don't suffer long. Either way, she going to die. So when you tell somebody that, they say, well, she said, well, go F yourself. You know, the same person that double crossed me to get me to you is going to double cross you. I was like, oh, okay. Now, that's a word, Jason. You might want to listen to that. You might want to hear her out on that. Well, he takes a gun and shoots it in the chest, in the underside of the chin, baby. Head goes back. Gut, gut, gut. I was like, oh, yeah, this season one. Oh, yeah, this season one power. Okay. Graphic. All right. So, Alicia Jiminez is out. Tommy steps from around the corner and is like, why the heck would you have me kidnap her if all you was going to do was kill her? And he was like, because I wanted to kill her myself. You can understand that. I wanted to do it personally. You know, and he tells him, he says, oh, is that why you sent Ghost after her too? Well, you understand that I had to cover all my bases. In case he failed, I had you. In case you failed, I had him. And I have to say, I am very pleasantly surprised to see that you came up on top. In other words, I never thought you would best Ghost. Okay? And it's a moment of pride for Tommy, but also it's a moment of like, why does everybody always underestimate me? Okay? So later on, after James has gone to see Jason, and he was just like, you know, he didn't go to see Jason. What he did was he called Tommy, and he told Tommy, listen, we need to team up against Jason and get rid of Jason. He was like, yeah, so you could snuff me out, so you could get rid of me. This Tommy, no, I think the reason why you mad is because I got the best of you today. He was like, well, if I am shocked, it's because I'm better at this than you are. This goes. Now, of course, this puts Tommy in a headspace. So now you're not finna get no cooperation out of Tommy whatsoever, because Jason big upped him. You're, James, putting him down. All right, so of course, he's gonna opt for the person who's giving him accolades. This is Tommy. Tommy has a very, very rudimentary way of thinking. Okay, he's real basic mentally, and so he tells him, he was like, you know what, you're just mad because I pulled off a brilliant plan all together, and you're by yourself. You know why you didn't do it? Because you're all alone. You got nobody. I was like, ooh, 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 ooh. Now that's a read. That is a read. Now I'm just gonna be clear about that. That is a read. And so he tells him, listen, Tommy, we need to take out Jason together. And Tommy's like, go F yourself. I'm not working with you. I'm done. Meanwhile, Jason is letting Ghost know that he has, I want my money. Where's my payment? I'm expecting my payment. You didn't hold up your end of the bargain and bring me Alicia Jiminez, which means you still owe me a payment. I want my money. Well, of course, when he talks to Proctor and finds out that Tommy hit him up for the information to the courthouse too, and Proctor gave it to him, and Proctor explains, Tommy is so intimidating. Like, I am definitely afraid of him. Like, seriously, I can't do this anymore. And he says, I'm in trouble, man. This is my one and only chance. This is going to give me some breathing room. What's the problem? Take a look. I'm bleeding money. I don't have any money. Well, if you want money, go to where the money is. This is what Proctor tells him. So, of course, where's the money? With Simon. He's a huge creep. Because all James wanted was the money. Simon wanted to talk and be best friends and do each other hair and nails, okay? And then before he walked off, and he says, you just don't understand how much it means to me, even larger piece in Raina's legacy. And Ghost realized in this moment that he is dancing with the devil by the pale moonlight. Really, you dancing with a whole bunch of devils by the pale moonlight. But basically, this is Power. Episode 3, much better episode than the last 2 episodes. And I think that the intro was the old intro this time. You guys tell me what you think. Put it down below if you noticed that or not. Until next time, honeybees. Mwah, mwah, mwah.